That's cool. Yeah, she'll probably come in the last second here and save the day. Bring me down just a little bit, Katie, on the monitors, please, if you will. There we go. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. I got the opportunity to go see Missy's play, Ghostwriter, on Friday night. And in fact, I happened to run into. I told you, huh? Round of applause, please. The day saver herself, the show roll. Ran into Kitty and Mary Jo while I was there. They were there on Friday night as well. And you guys were right. It was such a good performance. Hey, William, how are you?
Finally over my crud.
Good. I'm so glad to hear. Glad you're feeling better. I love the purple. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
How are you?
You're good.
You good, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
William, I'm so glad you're over your crud. I wouldn't let him sit next to me at the play.
So proud of you.
I was like, you sound sick. I can't sit by you.
Just a little, you like it.
That's all right. That's all right.
Glad you're better.
Okay, this is for you here. And what else? Anything else before we start? Phones off, silent, vibrate, whatever that needs to be so it doesn't ring. And let's get into the energy of our hearts, everybody. Here we go.
Here we go. If your problems won't go away and you worry night and day and get over, all you got to do is pray. Listen, if you're sick and feeling low, got no money, got nowhere to go, just hand it over. All you got to do is pray. Everybody sing along now, here we go. Hand it over, hand it over, hand it over, hand it over. Give it up and give it over. Just hand it over. All you got to do is pray.
You got to do is pray.
Ain't no mountain we can't climb. There's no answers we can't find. All you need is a hand to hold. Heals your body, feeds your soul. The road is dark and you can't find your way. Yeah, yeah. Let the spirit light the rain. Come on, spirit, and it over. All you got to do is pray.
You got to do is
Come on.
pray.
Hand it over.
Hand it over.
Come on, Skipper.
Hand it over.
Give it up. Oh, give it over. Just hand it over. All you got to do is pray.
You got to do is pray.
Mountain,
Pray.
ain't no mountain
There you go.
we can't climb. There's no answers we can't find. All you need is a hand to hold. Heal your body, feed your soul. The road is dark and you can't find your way. Just let the spirit light up that way. Hand it over. All you got to do is pray.
You got to do is pray.
Hand it over.
Hand it over.
Hand it over.
Hand it over.
Give it up. Give it over. Just hand it over. You got to do is Thank you. Good night.
Yay! And before you sit down, we have our affirmations. So in our beautiful outdoor voices, I invite you to repeat after me. I am. I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I I am prosperous. I say yes to my divine appointment. I am loved. And I am loved. I am an unstoppable force. Of love in the world. Everything that love is. I am. I am a living miracle. I am a living miracle. I am that I am. And so it is. There's a light that shines in this room. There's a presence I can feel in this place. There's a spirit moving through us, alive in every face. It's the very light of God. There's a light that shines in this room, and we live and move in its glow. In this moment, there's a oneness, the truth of who we are. We are the light, the very light of God. We are the light, the very light of God. So, beloveds, I invite you just to take some deep breaths, focusing on this beautiful exchange that we naturally have with the universe, and allowing the centering that comes from that breath just to bring you fully into the here and the now. And just bringing your attention to this breath, welcoming each breath, is to bring attention to it as a living elixir from the universe. And allow this living elixir to saturate and nourish every cell in your body, allowing the breath to relax, to soften, to replenish your mind, your body, your spirit, allowing you to be fully centered in the here and the now. And with each exhale, give the gift of your beingness back to the universe. Since the universe fully welcoming you in this breath, every part of you, your body, your mind, your spirit, the fullness of both of your humanity and your divinity. Sense the gratitude that is naturally present in this exchange, flowing to you from the universe for the beauty that is here. And breathe inside of this mutual gifting, this mutual welcoming. Notice the radiant energy of this mutual exchange, like an overflowing cup. Allow this welcome to embrace our beautiful planet. Just imagine this beautiful grace embracing our planet, saturating her, nurturing her, healing her physical body, loving her soul. Allow it to build in you, to pour forth from you as you bring your attention to those who are around you. And allow this foundational welcome to embrace this one that is next to you, and the next one, and the next one. And extend this embrace to those who are here virtually with us, those who will watch the recording later. We are here knowing and breathing inside of the infilling of love that is already present in every part of our service today. Every prayer, every song, every word embraced in this cosmic welcome. Take another deep breath in, and when you are ready, you may open your eyes. So it is.
And you open your eyes, and Mr. Donald Fouts is there. So I have the privilege of giving you, I call them the thank yous and invitations. So raise your hand if you were at the ladies group yesterday. Yeah, that's a lot of ladies. How was the tea ceremony? Oh, there's details to follow? Okay, if you weren't there, there's details to follow. But thank you so much. Let's go ahead and together we'll say our identity and our purpose statement. We are family for each other, welcoming, nurturing, and awakening one another at depth. And our purpose is birthing the new human as the face of evolving love on the planet. And it's done with ease and grace, by the way. So it's not so tough, it seems. Okay, so we have some invitations. We have weekly events. These are found on our website. The first one to bring to your attention is live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Join Jamie Jetty and friends in a small group. It really, the feedback we get is that the people that are attending this are having a really enriching experience. So come tomorrow at 10 a.m. Wednesdays, midweek inspiration. This is Zoom only. You can get the Zoom link, register for that on our website. And we'd like to start off with Sunday special reading as a starting point and go to whomever is there would like to share what's on their heart. And the lifeblood of our church is on Thursdays, A Course in Miracles. Yay! So I want to remind you that if you are doing the lessons, this is lesson 320. My Father gives all power unto me. After Ira is done with what's going on, we'll remind you that the Son of God is limitless. Now, who's the Son of God in the Course in Miracles?
We are.
Oh, yes, you are limitless. There are no limits on your strength, your peace, your joy, nor any attributes that the Creator has bestowed on you. So, if you want more of this, I encourage you to come on Thursdays. It is both live and Zoom, and begins at 6 p.m., goes till 7:30. Get the Zoom link again by registering on our website. All right, so we have a couple of things we're going to cruise through. Love Moments is next Sunday. So 5 of us have volunteered to share how New Thought, being the face of evolving love, how this ministry is working in our lives. So this will be a really fun thing, I think. And next on the list is we're having a joint service with CSL on Wednesday, the 26th at 6 p.m. So this is Thanksgiving Eve. Come early. I imagine we'll be doing some gratitude things, right? All right, Cans for a Cause. The timing is near where we will finish filling these up. We'll bring these in no later than November 30th so that the ladies in Unity can disperse those funds to the charities that they are going to. And we have a Christmas concert December 4th, the holiday Christmas concert featuring Patty Powers, Dave Marinelli, Michelle Roll.
I never heard
Are you going to be here? You're on the list. John Jones, Missy Parker, Lisa Lee, Danny Rio, and more. There will be a silent auction if you have something of value. I see Ira.
Yes, Yvonne is our auctioneer, Maven, but yay. Okay, so we've got next Sunday, then we have a Wednesday night joint service, then another Sunday, then the concert on Thursday. So if you have a gift of any sort, we can re-gift things. If you have anything, bring it in starting next week. Put it in our little room office there, and we'll get it prepared. Now, if you have something valuable or a service, okay, we have a format, and we'd like to know what it is, the estimated value, and a minimum bid, because we don't want to just give it away, although we do give things away. But, please, you could see me or see Yvonne, but we want to start exhibiting the stuff. The stuff. That's a good term early.
All right, so silent auction and a raffle and incredible music, and that is Thursday, December 4th. So start bringing your raffle items in, and that would be wonderful. All right, we have decided that the first Sunday of every month is Discover the You in Unity, which is kind of a after church. If you're new to coming here, you're not sure about what Unity is about, or if you just want to enjoy being in that small group, Joan is going to lead it, and that is December 7th after service. All right, we have a pledge, a Unity of Las Vegas pledge drive. There are some cards that you can fill out. This is part of our desire to manage and facilitate the finances of the church. Here's a sample, and what we'd like to receive from you is your financial commitment going into the last couple of months of 2025 and for 2026. So bringing that to your attention. And I think we're getting to the end. Oh my gosh, that's it. That's it. Okay, so we will change the tone and go into our prayer segment. And the affirmation or the focus of this prayer segment is, I create from the love that I am. So while John and Michelle play some music, you can fill out your prayer requests, and then we will bless them when you're done.
My heart beats with you. These hands will lift you up when you're down. My eyes see through your fears. These arms will always long to hold you near. If I could bring you peace, when I can live in joy, when I know I have learned love we make without restraint. I leave the shadows and let go. Lead with my heart and never with my head. Let God run the show. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to be alive. Feel your love. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to play along and sing your songs. That's why I am here. We all live and learn. Doesn't mean we know why we're here and how to keep it simple by loving and giving. If I could bring you peace when I can live in joy, then I know I have learned everything that I have come to learn. Feel the love coming back in return. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to be alive. I'm gonna feel your love. That's why I'm here. That's why I came. I'm gonna play along and I'm gonna sing my songs. That's why I am. That's why you are. That's why we are here.
Michelle Roll, that's an original composition. We are so grateful for Michelle and for John. Wonderful.
Anita's here.
Right in line. You created Michelle from the love that you are. What an example. Okay, so let's bless the truth of the knowing that you are an amazing human being. Your soul came here to fulfill what it is that these prayers are asking. We are incredibly abundant in the ideas, the answers for what is needed to be created for continued and greater abundance flow easily. Thank you, God. And the relationships, our relationships are harmonious and fulfilling. Thank you, God. And every cell in this body, and all of our bodies, is vibrating in wholeness, with grace and ease. Thank you, Holy Spirit, that this is so. Amen. Okay, well, you're not done with me yet. Because I have the privilege of reading today's special reading. And the word for today is living edges. The affirmation: through new eyes I behold the many mansions of love. Jim Whittaker, first American to summit Everest. If you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. I suppose that he had the right to say that. What a challenge. We often equate living on the edge with daredevil activity, a willingness for the thrill of the adrenaline rush to take great risks to one's physical well-being. But for light workers, living edges are where the heart of spiritual growth resides. Releasing the past, this is the place where we offer ourselves to the divine as a clean slate, where we open to profound influence, where we are willing to allow the most tender places of our being to touch love. It is a place of dynamic chemistry, an inner choice point, or negotiation to either play it safe by recoiling into familiar territory, or to open to love's mystery. Light workers know that saying yes to the divine is not a one and done affair. It's the activity of perpetual yesing, again and again in each nanosecond, and then receiving in return the gift of looking upon the universe as if for the first time. Reminds me, be ye like little children. This day, as each circumstance presents itself, I bring my awareness to this dynamic living edge within me and choose love yet again. I am met here by a universe wanting to show me its most sacred places, and through new eyes, I behold the many mansions of love. And together, through new eyes, I behold the many mansions of love. And so it is.
For you.
So we're in the middle of an amazing series, but before we get to that, I wanted to let you know December 7th is like a magic Sunday coming up, because we already have found out that Joan is going to share her amazing spiritual wisdom with us after service at our Discovering the You in Unity class. But we also will have Reverend Florence with us. And as you know, Reverend Florence absolutely is passionate about the 12 powers. And so the first Sunday of every month is 12 Power Sunday. And so we will be sharing about the power of life with Reverend Florence. So it's going to be absolutely an amazing day. And next, I think we've already spoken about this, but I'm so excited about next week where we have the Love Moment Sunday. And partially because I didn't have to ask anybody. But that's so powerful. I just had people from the community here just coming forward and knowing that they have a special story to share. And I'm so excited to hear about those. So that's next week, and we'll talk about how that flows in our series of the 5 Unity Principles shortly. So, the name of our series is The Whole in Motion, the 5 Principles of Divine Relationship. And we're looking at this as a whole story. And that's always the way you want to look at all the principles or of the 12 powers, that we start from wholeness, we break it down and we look at the individual parts, and then we come back into wholeness. And so we're going to take a look at that in terms of all 5 of them. I actually put them all in one slide so we could see what that whole thing looks like. So I'd like us to really imagine billions and billions of years ago, before the Big Bang, where we had just oneness. Let's just imagine that there was only oneness, and there was only love in this oneness. And the nature of love in of itself really is to spill over. Just imagine love is always like this fountain of overflowing cupness. Like it always wants to give of itself. And so it could not contain itself just in the oneness, and it created duality. So we have 2. And so I always like to look at it that way, because sometimes we have this picture of, in the Bible where it talks about the fall of man and, different things like that, these types of images where we have fallen from grace and all of that. So this is kind of a different picture of how we have come to be, that we are totally in every way birthed from love. So we think of that as moving from love is, which is total oneness, into I am. So this individuation that we are is a result of this love that could not contain itself and poured out into the expression of us. So I want you to just breathe that in. It's a little bit of a different story, right? So just breathe in the magnificence of that. And then in this breathing in, and as us, just recognizing that we are not lacking in any way from this oneness from which we have come. So even though we have been individuated, we are not in any way separate. And so as a result of that, then we move into the next one, which is I create. So understanding that just the nature of love itself just is creative. It's what the universe does. And it's what we do. Sometimes we're unaware of it, but we are constantly creating with our thoughts, with our intentions, with our beliefs, with our heart. So it's just not just our thoughts, but our heart, our bodies. We are constantly having an impact on the universe and everything that we do. So that's the nature of who we are. And then this moves into I connect. And we'll be talking about both creating and connecting today. And that's really a way that we continue to remember all of the previous principles. We remember our oneness. We remember that we are birthed from love. We remember that we have the fullness of love in every part of our being. And so we develop different practices that really help us to maintain that consciousness of connection. And then the last one is I live. So if we are totally embodying all of these principles, mind, body, and spirit, then it can't help but spill over into our lives, into our relationships, what happens on our job, all of these types of things, because the whole idea is how we can move from this total oneness all the way through our beingness and then out into the world. And I always like that image of heaven and earth kiss. And so there's kind of a sweet image just to imagine that this is what we've come to do. We've come to support heaven and earth and kissing. So if you just remember that one thing. And so you can see how this is this is a whole story, if you look at it in this way, coming from oneness all the way through our being out into the earth. So that is what the 5 principles are doing. And so we're going to be looking at them individually, but it is a complete story. So then last week we looked at the first 2 principles, and the first one is there is only one power and one presence in the universe. And I'm saying love. The rest of it is God the good omnipotent. But I like to interchange these terms. We can interchange God with love, with the divine, with allness. There's several different names for God, and so it's good to really be able to be flexible with all of that. And it's really the most profound principle. Another thing about each of these principles is all of them, each one of them contains all of them. So it's like if you master one, you automatically have all of them. And that's kind of a cool thing to look at. So, but this first one is it's really completely against what we're normally taught in culture. We're normally taught that there's a good power, there's a bad power. And even in unity, sometimes we kind of dress up the whole devil thing, like we don't have this image of a devil in a red suit, but we kind of make the ego the bad guy sometimes, right? No one in here, of course, I'm not talking about, anyone in here, of course, but there are people sometimes in the world that think of the ego as, as the devil, as the bad guy. Like we want to have this idea that there's something out there, in some way that's out to get us. And so this brings us fully back into that place of everything serves love. And that is a profound statement. And I know that's also what we hold in the Course in Miracles as well. That means that everything you see, everything you perceive, every relationship, everything that happens to you is designed to serve love. So that in and of itself is an incredible practice. And so then we also took a look at I am an individualized expression of love. And here we discussed the fact that being an individual doesn't mean separate. Sometimes we equate the two, that when you make something individual, it has to be separate. And so this is not that in any way, that we are continuing to have all of the attributes of love. Everything that love is, we are. But in addition, we're connected to each other and to everything else in the universe and in the earth as well. So it's a level of relationality. I always think that I wish in the English language we could get rid of nouns and make everything a verb, because spiritually it would just make everything so much easier. So I like the affirmation that I am a relational expression of God, a living intersection of the divine ecology. Wow. So that really kind of, brings us into that idea, that we are part of this mechanism. We are part of the biome of the universe. We're an integral part of that. And in that we become very sovereign. We become, like we don't need, like sometimes, coming, if you've come from the Catholic religion, and there are some wonderful things there, so I don't want to put that down, but sometimes you can get the idea that you need some sort of intermediary, or you need a guru, or you need one of, someone else to be between you and God. And this principle teaches you that no, that is not the case, that you are fully sovereign in your beingness, in who you are, because you have all of the qualities of the divine. So that is something that cannot be overemphasized. So today's message is love's mutuality, creating and connecting within the living field. So we'll be looking at principles 3 and 4 with this, and we're going to be looking at it again in that context of connectivity with all of things. So the third principle is, if you look this up in the Unity literature, it says thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. And I like that because it kind of rhymes, so it makes it easy to remember. And this points again to the fact that we are perpetual creative machines. I guess you can look at it that way. This is what we do because this is what the universe does. We are always in creative mode. And we use the word thought because that's a really good way to take a look at it, but sometimes we go in the mind when we use that word thought. So it's not just your thoughts, it's your feelings, it's what your body is doing, all of your whole being creates. And so in the special reading, we were talking about living edges, and I love that particular picture of it because it really shows us how we can be in conscious creative mode with the universe. The universe is always becoming, so it's always kind of living on its own edge. There's something that's fallen away, there's something that is coming. And so it invites us to really be that way too, to really live in this way in our relationships. Like, what can this relationship become? What is the next evolution of myself? What is the next evolution of this relationship? What is the next evolution of my job? And imagine going through your entire day like that. And it's a way of really saying yes. If you live like that, you are saying yes perpetually to being part of this creative force. It's a very living type of a force. And it's really based on a lot of faith because you're really having faith in who you are becoming next, and you're living more from there than you are from the past. And that's true in our relationships. If there's someone that's in your life, who are they becoming, in this moment? Can you hold space for that? Or do you, move back into how they have shown up to this point? And your job, or whether it's the country, or again, turn on the news. It's such a wonderful way to practice everything. Can we really hold the possibility and live in that beautiful, tender space? And I had this wonderful experience of this yesterday, actually. And I was just telling Valerie that I love, when things happen, when you have a talk coming up, something happens. It's like, oh yeah. And it is really a beautiful example of what it is to live in becoming. It's a beautiful example of, how thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. So as Don has mentioned, and we've been announcing that we have a Ladies in Unity meeting on Saturday. We're having the Japanese tea ceremony. We're having the Centers for Spiritual Living group join, which happened so amazingly, organically, and I love how that occurs. So there's this beautiful energy, right, going into that. And then I get a call about 12:15 from Valerie, and we had not thought about how we would get into the building. One of these details that happens to me, quite regularly. It's like, oh, how are we actually going to get in? And so, of course, Ira was on the thread. So Ira says, well, I'm going to just get in the car. He's in Henderson. I'm going to get in my car, and I'm going to start driving. And so I remember, back when we started this relationship with CSL, I was given a key. I just never used it. I never had to get into the building, by myself. Someone else always did that. And so I said, I think I can find my key. And so I went, and I looked through all of my things, and here's the key. Now, the reason I know this is the key, because I had this conversation with Reverend Stacy. This is an amazing, you can't see it from here, but it's a really cool picture on here. It has the cosmos. I've never seen a key like that, I said, look, there's the whole universe in this key. It's just the kind of key I would have made if I were making a key, And so Stacy and I had this great conversation about that. So I grabbed the key, and I came to the church, and it doesn't fit any of the locks here. It doesn't, and I was saying, this can't be, because I remember in my mind this cool conversation, and it's a beautiful key. Surely it must fit, so I looked at all the locks, and Now, in the meantime, Valerie had called Ira and told him to go back home because I had the key. And so we had to call Ira again. I don't have the key. You know, so he starts coming back here again, and we had talked to Reverend Cheryl, and she found a way. I didn't know that she could actually, you know, remotely do something with the lock, with the code and all of that. So we have Ira on his way again, and we're standing there in the rain. And never, hardly ever rains here, right? But we're doing all this in the rain, and Valerie turns to me, and Valerie and Debbie and I are standing outside the door, and Valerie says, "You know, I can laugh at this." And we all did kind of laugh. I mean, nobody got really upset about the whole thing. And then out of the blue, a miracle occurred. Reverend Sandy from CSL showed up. She had a key, she had the code, nobody knew she was coming, of course. You know, that's how miracles and how grace works. And so we were able to get in. We remembered to call Ira again, so so on his way here, went back home again. But I love our community because everyone stayed in love. And you can see how there were several frustration points, right, along the way here. But everyone stayed in love, and it was that energy that went into our ceremony that we had together with the ladies, which was amazing. It's an amazing group, and you could feel the loving intention, and you could just feel the excitement because we had the CSL ladies with us, and everything just kind of flowed beautifully. The ceremony went well. The food, of course, is delicious. Everyone is a beautiful cook here. And the intention from which that Ladies in Unity is really holding as a foundation was very present and amazing. And so that to me is this example of thoughts held in mind, produced after their kind, and what it is to be constantly a creative being. So applause to all the ladies and all of that. And Valerie did say that, you know, this is going to make a good story. Somebody said that. I remember who it was. Might have been, was it Holly? I don't know. Somebody said that. This is going to really make a good story. And so I realized this is what we're going to talk about. Yes?
While we're praising Ira, I've known him for 13 years. We've 3 churches together. I didn't know till this morning he's taken classes of what do you do if bad people or bad things show up, and he may be prepared to say, "Make my day." I don't know, but it's not just God that watches out for you. Ira wears more hats than anybody here.
Well, Ira's God, you know, so. Of course. All right, awesome. And so next we have I Connect. And so again, if you look that up in our Unity literature, it says prayer, meditation, affirmations, and denials. This talks about the spiritual practices and tools that we use that help to remind us if we should forget one of the first 3 principles. This is what we're going to do to help ourselves to get back in connection. And I like to think about these as permission slips. Does anyone remember permission slips? Either from being a parent or being a child. Like, you know, as parents, we had to write permission slips for our children to be able to be excused from school, or to be able to go on field trips, or to participate in sports and these types of things. You needed to have that special tool there. So I like to look at these tools in that same way. These are permission slips. And so that you recognize that you are the one that empowers every single one of these. These are permission slips that you are choosing to help you remember, giving you permission to remember who you really are. So anytime that you're engaging in prayer, you're engaging in meditation, you're engaging in affirmations or denials or whatever you're doing, you are empowering this particular practice to remember the truth. To remember the first 3 principles, to remember that there is only love, to remember that you are the fullness of love, to remember yourself as a creative being. That is the the point. So it is permission slip. I'm telling you that because sometimes we have this tendency to give our power away to certain things, and we think the power is specifically in the prayer, the power is in the meditation, or whatever it is, the practice that you do. So this is that reminder that it's all pointing back to you, and the whole point of the practice is to remind you that you are the fullness of love. You are complete in and of yourself. So a real beautiful example I had of this, because I really love movies. Some of you may remember A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe. Remember that? It's an incredible, it's a true story, actually, about a scientist and a mathematician named John Nash. And he had schizophrenia. But back in the early 60s, no one was really clear about what that was, what to do with it, or, anything. And so it took him a while to really, kind of work through this. And at one point in the movie, he has an epiphany. And he realizes that these characters that he's seeing in his mind are not real. That they don't exist in the 3D realm at all. And so he has this little mini ceremony that I think is so sweet, but it's so poignant, because one of the characters is this little girl. And so he bends down and he shakes her hand, and he says, I'm so happy that we've had time together, but I'm not going to be able to talk to you anymore because you're not real. And he shakes her hand. And it reminds me so much of how we can do that same type of thing when we're doing denials. For example, denial is a way of telling the universe that you're complete with something, that you're done with something. You can say to the universe, I no longer believe X, or whatever that happens to be. And so I really like this particular picture with Russell Crowe, just showing, it was kind of really showing us how to do that. You have the epiphany, oh, what I believed before is not real. That's not true. And so you create a denial. You may thank it for whatever it is, how it has served you, because everything serves love. And then you let it know, and you let the universe know, we're now complete. I no longer believe whatever it is that you want to put there. And so I think we all have little pieces of paper and pencils. So if there's anyone that does not have that, I would like for you to think about what it is that's like that. Now, if you were here when we were doing the renunciation lesson, you may already have something in mind, because the renunciation is the power of no. So if you remember from that lesson, you can write that down, or something else that comes to your mind. What is it that you are complete with? Maybe it's something that was wonderful 2 years ago, but now you're just done with that. It could be a belief structure or condition, whatever is going on in your life that you're clear, we're done with this. And what that does is it really clears your space and makes something, it creates a beautiful void, is what it does, so that something new can come in. So you can start out with, I no longer believe, or whatever you want to say in the beginning, I no longer believe that I'm a limited being, or I'm powerless, or whatever it is that you want to write in there. And there's a saying that the universe abhors a void. I really like that. So that means when you are letting go of something, automatically something is magnetized to come to you in its place. So this is step one, where we're really letting go of what that is, that we want to make room for whatever the good is that is its opposite. And you can bless it and thank it on its way it has served you. If it has done nothing more than help you realize what you really do want, it has been of service. So this is how we begin to work with denials. And the counterpart to denials is affirmations. And you're very familiar here because we use them all the time. And the important thing with affirmations is not to stay in the head. Just like with prayer, we talked about the mind, we talked about the body, we talked about the heart, to making sure that all of those are very present. And we talked about the mind and that there's three different kinds of mind. One of them is a thinking mind, the intellect, most of us are familiar with that. And it's usually very limited. It's thinking mind, but it always regurgitates the past. And it doesn't even do that accurately, if you think about it. It has its own perspective of what happened during the past. And then you have what's called the imaginal mind. And this is the mind that has the ability to stretch beyond what the limitations are that are before you. And it's different from imagination, which kind of has a bad rap, right? People say, well, you're just imagining that. What they usually mean is, well, that's not real. And this is, what you're holding in your mind actually is real. It actually has substance. And so we're utilizing that power to imagine new possibilities for ourselves, for our loved ones, for the world. And to do that, we use the imaginal mind. Then there was the other one, which is the entangled mind, which is the mind that understands relationships and connectivity with all that there is. So when you are doing the affirmation, you want to engage these more expanded parts of your mind, and they become wonderful checkpoints, because as you know, I have two affirmations that I love for myself. I'm an author of the impossible. And so during the day, I ask myself if something's going on, am I authoring the impossible right now? And my other one is, I'm living as the miraculous. So I ask myself, right now, am I living as the miraculous? And if it's no, I have the opportunity then to move up to that vibration, to find a way to really match that vibration and to live into that. So that's how you want to engage the mind with your affirmations. And then there's this beautiful body of work called heart math. Some of you may be familiar with that. And so you want to really engage the heart resonance, which is done primarily through appreciation, through gratitude. So just recognizing what it is that you appreciate, what you are grateful for, focusing on the beautiful warmth that occurs in your heart, that resonance, that vibration, to make sure that that is very present in your affirmation. And then the third part is part we almost always leave out, the body. We need to have our affirmations in our bodies. So those of us who like to dance, does anyone here that likes to dance? That is a very familiar creative expression for me. And so what I do, if I want to really have this threefold experience with my affirmations, is I'll put some music on, and I will either sing or shout my affirmation, and I'll dance around the room. If you do that, it is very powerful. It creates a very strong resonance with your entire being. So, but there's other ways to do that. If you don't like to dance, if you put your hand on your heart, that is also a way of engaging your body. So we're going to do something in a moment. First, I want you to actually write down your affirmation on the other side of the paper. It could actually be the counterpart to your denial. So if your denial, for example, was, I deny that I'm a powerless person, and the other side could be, I am powerful beyond imagination, or something like that. So it could be a pairing of the two, or it could just be something that you're just really sensing is, this is my affirmation right now that I want to really hold. And it still works, because really the idea of creating a void is so powerful, and we don't often know what the good is that wants to rush in to meet that. So being open to a variety of different ways that your good can come, and affirming that is very potent and powerful. So one side will have, I no longer believe, and you'll have your denial. The other side will have your affirmation. I always recommend starting an affirmation with I am. Because the I am, those two words together automatically affirm your divine nature, your oneness with everything, and your individuation within that love. Just those two words together. For that reason, you want to be careful what you put after I am. So you might want to catch yourself during the day. If you're saying something after I am that doesn't totally affirm what you would want to have, I would eliminate that. So do we have our affirmation? All right. So I'm going to give you, we're going to do something to bring this into the body now. I'm going to ask you to stand. If you don't want to stand and want to put your hand on your heart, that is okay as well. But one of my favorite things to do, we're not going to dance around the room, although that would be my number one choice, but we're not going to do that. What we're actually going to do is put your hands up. And so I'll give you the motions first because I want you to be able to shout your affirmation even though it's going to sound a little bit chaotic in here for a little while. So you'll have your hands up. Hands up is what you are affirming is the absolute oneness in the universe. So this gesture is putting you into contact with that expansiveness, that depth, that truth of love. So you're going to be shouting your affirmation. You're going to bring it all the way down through your entire being, head, heart, body. Send it down into the earth. Imagine going it down through the soles of your feet down into the earth, grounding it in Mother Earth. Then you're going to bring up the beautiful Mother Earth energy through your entire being. And feel this going through all parts of you. Back up into the cosmos. I got chills just describing that. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to do this 3 times, and you can do it at your own pace. You have your affirmation in mind, right? Right. All right, hands up. We're going to shout our affirmation all the way down and all the way back, because you're just going to say it several times. I'm going to do I'm an author of the impossible. You can pick whichever one that you would like. All right, go. I am an author of the impossible. I am an author of the impossible. I'm 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 an author of the impossible. Yay! Yeah. All right, give yourselves an applause. I feel a shift. It was a beautiful shift in vibration. It was already great, and now we're like just through the roof. All right, so I'm going to invite you to sit, and we're going to do a brief meditation. And just breathe everything that has just occurred into your entire being. Include the energy that is in the room, because we did that together, so we have exponentially supported each other in these affirmations. Breathing inside of your heart, allowing that expansiveness to be present. And begin by bringing mind to your denial, embracing it as love. Breathing in the loving intention with which it was here. And now letting it go. And let it go by breathing out This is no longer part of your experience. This is no longer part of your being. It has served you, and now you send it on its way. Now I invite you to bring to mind your affirmation. And notice how beautifully the universe fills that void with your next highest expression of love through this affirmation. And allow this affirmation to live in your mind, the imaginal mind, the entangled mind. Allow it to live in your heart, feeling the gratitude and the heart resonance. Allow it to be alive in your body. Put your hand on your heart or give yourself a hug, feeling it existing there. Take some deep breaths in, experiencing the gratitude that comes and knowing that this is the truth of who you are, allowing it to fully integrate in your whole being. And now with this beautiful vibration that is now existing in your being, I invite you just to breathe it out to everyone that is here. Sharing this vibration lifts everyone exponentially. And send this out into the world. Just imagine this vibration wrapping itself around the earth. Filling the earth, nurturing the earth. Send it out into the cosmos. And now breathe it back into your heart. You feel that amazing fullness in your entire being. Feeling the connectivity of all those around you with the earth, the cosmos. Saying in your mind, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. All right. So into this amazing energy, I would like to acknowledge everyone that is here with a welcome and gratitude for creating what we have created here together. I am so excited for who we are and who we are becoming. And I'd like to also invite and to welcome our online visitors and family, and to thank you also. We feel your heart, we feel your intentions, we feel that you are here with us by divine appointment. And we are so grateful for all the ways that you have been sharing your presence and your beingness with us during this service. I'd like to acknowledge anyone who may be here for the very first time. And if this is you, I invite you to stand. We have many gifts for you. We'll not ask you to say anything. We have a few gifts for you. So first, Marcia is going to be handing you, is going to be handing you a welcome packet that tells you a little bit about Unity and how Unity has been sharing love with the planet for the past 150 years, and specifically about Unity of Las Vegas and who we are. And now we have a energetic blessing for you. So with this, all you need to do is just open your mind and heart to receive. So I invite our community to rub your hands together, to repeat after me. We see who you are.
We see who you are.
You are a magnificent divine creation.
You are a magnificent divine creation.
You are a one-of-a-kind miracle.
You are a one-of-a-kind miracle.
You are indispensable to the universe.
You are indispensable to the universe.
We love you.
We love you.
We bless you.
We bless you.
And we celebrate the light that you are. Thank you so much for being with us today. Blessing us with your presence. All right, next we have an opportunity for our in-house Sangha to greet each other in the spirit of Sayuvona, which means we see you.
While you're coming back to your seats, Michelle has something that she wants to tell us about. You want to wait? You're not paying attention?
Don't forget.
Okay. Then I'll continue on. Michelle will wait. You're such a hospitable group. If I could have your attention, please. John, is your song over? The hearts? Okay. Please return to your seats. We have a couple of things to do. One thing I would like to say about the face of evolving love. John has a song? During the offering. Yeah, during the offering. Okay, well, I'm just trying to gather the attention back to the stage. Yeah. And so this is the time for you to financially support this church through your tithes and your offerings and your gifts. And we hold our gifts in our hands, and together we have an affirmation. And it is coming up on the screen. Ta-da! I'm really good at that. Okay, together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So if you'll pass your gifts to the aisles, John will sing a song. All right. Yeah.
Here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. You're here to remind me magnificence. So help me awake to all the wonder that I am. You long to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved. One for my friend William here. Here to remind you of your magnificence. Shake it, baby. Help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. Here to remind you how much you're truly loved. Here to remind you. You're here to remind me how much we're truly loved.
Thanks for that reminder, John. Okay, the ushers are ready. We will bless this abundance. Our cup runneth over, and our gifts expand in our lives 1,000-fold. There is nothing ever that can keep us from our greatest good. And yes, living in the mystery, as Lisa puts it, is such an adventure. God, love, what is happening next? I affirm abundance, more love, and more joy, and more wholeness. So it is. Amen. Okay, Michelle, roll. This is your chance.
Maybe I should use it.
Whatever you like.
Hello, testing. When you guys were walking around and meeting each other, if you didn't get a chance to shake Danita Asbury's hand and give her a hug, she's my friend. If you saw the She Rocks show that we did in September, she was one of the stars of that. And she's amazing. She's a beautiful soul, a beautiful friend, a beautiful person. She's my rock. There was a lot of stress in that show, and she was right there, just holding everything up. But I wanted to let everybody know that she has a show in town at the Italian American Club this Wednesday, and it's a dinner and a show. And oh, it's just a show, no dinner there. Darn. Okay, so I have to go early and eat because I was looking forward to eating too there. So Danita does one of the most amazing award-winning tributes to Aretha Franklin and many other artists. And this show is Soulville.
Yes.
Hail to the Queen of
Respect to the Queen.
Respect to the Queen. But let's go Wednesday night. It'll be fun. Are you still going?
Yes.
Okay.
Wednesday night, that's going to be fun. And yes, you blew it out.
thank you.
Yeah, the Smith Center was on fire.
Nailed it.
Okay, we're going to do the peace song. Is that next? No? Let me out of here.
Thanks everybody for letting me do that.
Yes, absolutely. So glad that you mentioned that. Yay! All right, we're going to do, I wanted to remind everyone to pick up a pledge card, which is on the table out there. And this is part of our reciprocity, that we bless each other. As you bless us, we bless you. And this is the way that we multiply our resources and our abundance in our community. And this helps us to begin to plan, the leadership helps to plan what we're able to do in all the ways that we're able to share love in the world. So please pick up your pledge card on the way out. And now it is time for our closing blessing. So for this, I ask you just to put your hand on your heart and to breathe those words in. May you leave this gathering knowing that you are a magnificent creative being, ever in co-creation with the cosmos. May every thought you hold be met by its divine counterpart in love. May you sense every prayer as the prayer of the universe is already whispering through you. May you feel the living field all around you, soft, intelligent, responsive. As you go from this place, may your awareness stay porous, your heart stay relational, your choices ripple gently through the web of being. And may the whole continue becoming itself through your tenderness, your courage, your openness, and your willing presence. And so it is. So we're ready for our peace song.
All right, you ready? You ready? You ready? And here we go.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was given to you. And we are free. Now we walk with each other. Earth is on free.
Together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a fabulous week, beloveds. I love you.
Go to the Italian American Club website and get a ticket to Danita's show. Wednesday night, the 19th. You want to see one of the best female singers in town. Maybe the best.
I got it.
She's the one.
I figured it out.